Do you feel like so far there's been a shift there's been a shift in in favor of the East this free agency in terms of the quality that's been added?
A shift. No, I it gets more competitive on paper right now, but like everyone's gunning for Boston. That's just
I think that's just what it is. At the end
yeah.
of the day, everyone's chasing Boston. Like whether it's like we could have like went and signed, you know, I don't know, Jokic, Bron, KD. Like you're still chasing Boston. They're the champs. Like you're trying to chase them. So that's kind of what everyone in the East is doing. But the East is going to be, obviously like JB says, it's going to be more competitive because a bunch of teams got better.
I was going to say, like, the one thing that a lot of people said about Minnesota this year was that they were constructed, tailor made with the sole purpose of beating Denver. Do you guys feel that by pairing OG and Mikhail, you guys are like the purpose was, I mean, you just said it, right? But like constructed to beat Boston?
I mean, yeah, we're all chasing. Yeah, we're all chasing Boston. We have to. I mean, they won at an elite level the way they played, and so we got to figure out, obviously, without being on the court right now, how can we be able to beat them? And that's in the hands of the front office. And then once season starts, and it's in our hands. So, yeah, they set the blueprint for right now. Like there's a team that wins, and then everyone's like, okay, we got to be designed to be that team.
Yeah, beat the team.
We got to beat that team right there, right? Like the Warriors, the way how they were constructed, everyone was thinking like, all right, we need to find a way to beat the Warriors, right? Everyone now is like, all right, we got to find a way to beat the Celtics. Before, like when the Lakers had their three-peat, it was like, all right, we got to beat Shaq, Kobe, and the Lakers. Like each couple years is like a way of basketball is being played. Like, how can we beat that top dog, right? And once a new top dog comes about, like think about it, the Boston Celtics in '08, they brought KG, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce to the team with Rondo. Like that was the original, not original. That was like a big three. Everyone started having big threes after that. You had like Miami, you had like OKC. That was constructed obviously through the draft, but like teams are thinking, all right, we need three elite players, right? It's so every couple of years it changes and how the teams want to construct themselves.
And right now it's elite two-way wings.
I mean, yeah, as of right now, how can you guard Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum?
It's exciting. You really want to see like a fully healthy East as much as you can throughout the season because it's just going to be if that's the case, it's going to be like if Philly can stay healthy, if you guys can stay healthy, but like, it's going to be fun as hell to watch. Orlando got better.
This playoffs is probably like the most. Like everybody was, hurt. Obviously, even Boston. KP was out for what, a month. He was hurt. Donovan missed time. Jimmy Butler missed time. Tyrese, OG, Julius. Joel was banged up. I think every team had somebody. I think except for Orlando, every team had somebody that was hurt, and someone pivotal to that team's success. So a healthy East, I think, would be fun and competitive.
Even like I'll say like everyone's thinking like, all right, if the East was healthy, like it would have been much tougher. You don't know if like Boston could have won. Like everyone has these hypotheticals when people are hurt, right? But like when you're going through that, you're not thinking about like, oh, this could be 10 times harder if this happened. Like, no, you're like, all right, these are the cards that are being played. We need to go out there and figure out how we can win or take advantage of these cards being played. Right. So like it's yes, if the whole league was healthy, every game would be what? Whatever the spread is, whatever. Like every game would be like that. But like things happen and like it's just all about how can you either win what you have or take advantage of the opposition.
I feel like it's always like as we all know, it's always luck. Half of it's luck. I mean, some like obviously you got to go out, like JB said, you got to go out execute, you gotta do all these things. But like some of it is just like the luck of the cards. It's like, but like no one's gonna remember Boston for like they beat Miami without Jimmy or Donovan didn't play and Jared out. Like nah, nobody's gonna remember that. Like you remember them winning a chip. So it's like sometimes just the luck is in your favor.
I would say people will remember. Most people would just remember them winning a chip, right? I think obviously the more we have like basketball, like podcasts and shows and stuff like that, where we are comparing. Most people's podcasts compare and contrast about, like eras and like teams about like that can never be like actually done. Like like MJ versus LeBron or like all this stuff. Like you can't like they compare stuff that can't be determined in real life, and so I do think Boston is going to be remembered by like non-basketball people, like non-players, most non-players, like about this run. Like, like they didn't play so-and-so because they were hurt. They were hurt. But I think the people in the basketball world understand like, no, that they walked through every challenge they had to do and things fell in their favor. It's just as simple as that. Like sometimes things fall in your favor, sometimes they don't. I mean, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, 6 out of 8 years and didn't win one? Sometimes it doesn't fall in your favor. And then it is what it is.
I mean, they put together a hell of a team and a hell of a run. Like you said, I mean, obviously we'll never know what would have happened, but all you see is what they did with what was in front of them. And everything they did pretty convincingly.
They played well. They had, how many games did they lose? 2, 3?
Yeah. I actually think, like you said, OG and Mikal match up really nicely with Jalen and Jason Tatum. I actually think KP is kind of the X factor there. That it's like, he's how tall is he? 7'4"?
He's like 7'2", 7'3".
7'2", getting to his spots, shooting threes. Like that. I feel like that's a matchup that it's a little bit tougher to solve for. That one you have to figure out, a little less straightforward.
I mean, that's who Josh doesn't want to guard the other guys or wing, so that's who Josh is going to have to guard.
Huh? Nah, I mean, if we was healthy, if we're talking about if we were healthy, nah, that would have either been Julius or Mitch. I'm not guarding. I'm guarding me and Derek White. We're gonna kick it. Me, Derek White, or me and Drew. Have a good time. Drew is gonna be on like the baseline, like trying to like get like sneaky offensive rebounds and knock down shots. Like me and him can just go hang out in like the dunk area and just have a good time and let everything else happen. I'm cool with that. I would not have guarded that.
People really forget that you guys just had an All NBA player on the bench this year for a lot of the year.
Since what, January 26th, 27th?
Yeah, but hey man,
I mean, we don't talk about our problems, man. We just keep it pushing.
I would say that probably would have been. I feel like our Philly series is probably one of the best, if not the best, series of the playoffs. I feel like if we were healthy and we got to play Boston, that would probably would have been the best series in the playoffs. I feel like that goes 6 or 7, and I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, we'll win. Like, nah, I don't know. Like that would be a competitive as hell 6 or 7 games.
Last question before we talk about the draft. Are you putting OG or Mikal on PG? And who are you putting on Maxey?
Probably Kel on Maxey.
I got PG.
You want Maxey?
No, I got PG.
Why are you putting your hand up?
I got PG.
Yeah, you got Jared McCain.